All right, exciting morning starting off already. A little bit earlier than we expected, but headed over to get a couple cars out of the Mopar collection building and bringing a couple back that are not sold to our showroom, getting a couple others out for transporters because they have sold. Very excited with this batch because it was some of the demons and some of the best deals on the demons, period. Again, when dealers buy these cars from me, guys, you have to realize they're buying them. Sometimes they're paying a fee if I'm selling it through an auction platform. They're also paying to transport it. They're also paying to put it in their inventory. They're also going to make a profit. So, again, we try to make everything as fair as possible, but people are always like, oh my gosh, they're so high. You get what you pay for. You know that. I've said it 1,000 times. You're going to get what you pay for. I don't care if it's a classic car or a car with 9 miles that you cannot buy. If you went to the Dodge dealer with $10 million, you cannot buy a Dodge Demon unless they buy one from me and resell it to you because they don't have any more. The only way they have them is to rebuy the ones they have sold. And these cars ended up being roughly 18 to 20,000 over sticker, right? Yeah. These cars were $100,000 over sticker at one point. Then 70, 80, 50, they bounced all over the place. A lot of flippers got involved, turned loose some of their stuff. Some dealers turned their stuff loose because they had on floor plan. Now they're on the journey back up. But currently, these were a deal. So we sold them for a deal. And I think by far these are probably the cheapest demons that ever hit the market. I could have sent them to Barrett Jackson. I could have sent them to Mecum. I could have sent them to any of the high-end auctions platforms through Manheim or anywhere else, and definitely did better profit-wise. But I said this collection, I would make sure it goes to end users as much as possible. Now, I can't tell a dealer he can't buy it when it is on eBay or somewhere else. But once we get to paperwork, we know several of these went to dealers. So we tried our best to get it to the end user, but in some cases that doesn't happen if the deal is too good. So while we're doing this, I got a couple minutes before we pull up here. The other cool part of this is we got a call yesterday, and it was a Bermuda trucking truck. Check that out. Bermuda Trucking, good family, good friends of ours for a long time, good customers of ours for a long time, and Bermuda Truck Repair we deal with on a daily basis. And Bermuda Trucking is the dad and the brother also. Good people, really darn good people. But anyway, got a call from a nice lady. Her husband was a good friend of ours. They went to church with my parents, and unfortunately he passed away. And it sucks because he was not that old, unfortunately. So she reached out, said, I'm gonna need some help with these vehicles. I said, yes, ma'am, I'm happy to help. Let me know when. You know, she had to settle some things out. 2 or 3 months has gone by. She called again. She's ready. But here's the thing. We get this call a lot, because of the fact, one, I've been friends with a lot of different groups, families, and people over the years, and my father was as well. And, we stand behind some good morals and good ethics. So we get this call. And unfortunately, a lot of times, I actually pass on the scenario. And the reason for that, and exactly the reason for that, has happened to this lady. Everybody's come out of the woodwork because he had some nice stuff. What are you going to do with the stuff? What's going to happen to the stuff? I'm going to reach out to Davis. Oh, they're just going to buy it and make money off of it. No crap, Sherlock. We're in business. But we're not going to take advantage of somebody. We're not going to take advantage of a widow. We're not going to take advantage of a family selling an estate. We're going to be as fair as it can get. And why would I step away from things? Some people are connected in a group that is so negative, I don't even want to deal with it. I just don't want to deal with it. I've had 40, 50 car opportunities that I have passed on, that I could have made money on each and every car. That's what we do. We're in business. If you work for somewhere, you're making a profit for somebody along the way. Just remember that. Even if you work in a plant, you're still making money for somebody along the way. The end product's getting sold. But I've walked away from a lot of stuff. In this case, she already's heard it. She's already heard it. Everybody's like, oh, you should put it on this network. You should put it on Facebook. She don't want to deal with that. She's a private lady. She don't want people coming to her house. She doesn't want to deal with people. She did try to sell. She didn't think we'd be interested, but she had a trailer and a pontoon boat. And she said, I didn't think you'd be interested, JW, even though you have the Marina. It's not really a nice boat. It's kind of crappy condition. There's some paperwork problems I'm working through. So I put it up for sale, and I took it back down. She said, because I'm not dealing with it. She said, people have no money. People don't follow through on their promises. People want to just take advantage of me because they see I'm an older woman. I'm not dealing with it. And she said, I want you to deal with this stuff. And I said, ma'am, I appreciate that. But honestly, because of the tight-knit circle that he was friends in as well, a lot of times I pass on this situation, and I really considered in this case. And she said, JW, I'm going to tell you something. Out of his mouth, he said, if anything ever happens to me, you call Mr. Davis or his son and deal with everything. And they will take care of you. Period. She said, that's all I needed to hear. And that was years and years and years ago. My father was still alive. My dad did not do a lot of deals with him in the recent years. I had dealt with him on several things. Buying, selling, consigning, accessories in the shop, lift kits, parts, and things like that. So I said, you know what? I don't care about the naysayers. I don't care about anything else. I'm going to help you, just like we should, and we're going to make the situation right. So I'm going to bring you guys some stuff. I don't know how private she's going to want to be about it, but I do think I want to make a video about it, because all because of the negative people, which we overcome in social media every day. And one of the reasons we've had some of our social media for 15 years and it went dormant was, I hate people that are negative. I hate people that are haters. I hate people that have the opportunity to do everything that we've done, but because we cranked our butts for 14, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week for all these years, while they sat at home and collected welfare or didn't go to work or whatever the case may be, and now they want to be the ones that are naysayers or haters. Some people use that word. So we let our social media be dormant. And then I was reminded several times, like, JW, you got those 2 or 3 negative people. Don't even block them. Let them be on there. You've got thousands and thousands. Now we have millions of people that appreciate what we do. Don't let those little 0.0 percentile people worry you or bother you. So that really resonated big with me, and I got to get that same pretense with these situations, because the flip side of that is I did help another family with a 40 to 50 unit vehicle, equipment, trailers, trucks, tractors, you name it, liquidate, even some properties, and they were beyond blessed that we did it for them and tickled to death. We made our little bit of profit. They got way more money than they ever could have imagined. They were scattered in other states. It all got dispersed properly. Every red cent was accounted for. And at the end of the situation, they were beyond ecstatic. So, and I almost did not take on that situation either. So now we're at the Mopar collection. Enough of that. Got some good stuff coming. A couple demons are coming back to the showroom, and we're going to dig out some other cool stuff. Even a Viper in there. Hang tight. All right, we're in the Mopar building. You guys are no stranger to seeing this building. But we're checking in this Viper. So we just got here. I don't have any details on it yet. He's getting the title out so we can get some paperwork done and written up. This is a cool car, though. This is actually a soft top equipped car that has a set over hardtop. Super unusual. I don't know. He explained it to us. But the only unfortunate part about this car is it has had several owners. And that's not a bad thing. Some people get weirded out about a lot of owners on a vehicle. This car has had 5 or 6 owners per auto check or Carfax. Now, that could have been first owner, put it in his business name, then put it in his personal name. Sometimes people do it for tax purposes. You see that more with trucks than you do sports cars. Sometimes going through a divorce, they put it in a buddy's name. Weird things happen. But it also might have had 5 owners. You know, you just don't know. So ownership, I don't think really stings things very much. Out of this collection, it's one of the few things that actually has more than 1 owner. But very, very, very cool car. White with blue stripe. White wheels would have been the proper wheels for this car, but the polished alloys look great in my opinion. I think the white wheels are a little overkill. And the white wheels are out there. You can find them and buy them. But the white blue stripe car is incredible. And this one's kind of a pearl, so it's not just a straight bright white. Again, we'll get all the details on it, get it checked in, and give you all the specs on it, pricing. Also a Prowler. Also picking up a couple of the 170s, as I said, or I might have said in one of the other short videos, sorry. We're trying to do this a little bit different today. We're doing a little more long form, but this car does have replacement tires. Date code is good, so they're safe. The hardtop is an awesome feature. Actually makes it look a lot like a GTS. And we'll pull up all the rest of the paperwork and get you the details on that. But there's the big V10 under the hood. You don't get to see that very often because we don't typically even pop the hood on these cars. You can also see that the hood is not all busted up. These hoods are very famous for if you hit something or even closing them wrong, they will just explode because they are fiberglass. So very good shape there. It also gives you a chance to look underneath of it, make sure everything is kosher, which it does look good. Stripes look awesome on the car. That's the other Viper blue color, which is amazing. Cool. We'll get through some of this other stuff and show you guys some more cars. There is the Prowler. So we have the purple Prowler. We sold the yellow Prowler, right?
Mm-hmm. They're all gone.
And the red one. Okay, so purple and silver are the only two Prowlers we've got left. The red one's the one that actually went to the other country, right? Where did that go? Costa Rica? Costa Rica? Yeah, so I think Costa Rica. So the customer actually flew in, viewed the car. Speaking of that, this week, pretty much all of the more high-end cars and trucks that sold, the customers did take the time to fly in. Then we transported the car home. Some of them actually added and bought more accessories for the cars in trucks and had things done to them. And we're happy to do that. And transportation is no issue. The CTSV in particular, customers flew in just before the holiday, said we're going to spend our holiday weekend traveling around Virginia. If you go to the east, you can go to the beach. If you go to the west, you can go to the mountains. There's not many places you can do that. So that's pretty cool. And then they flew home, paid for the car, of course, before they left, and we're transporting it. It left yesterday. It'll be to them today. So everything worked out great. And they did not have to drive a 1,000 horsepower car down the road any further than they wanted to. So that was really cool too. And that guy's got a pretty cool collection, so that was neat. One of the pickup trucks that hopefully we'll transport out today, same way. Customer came in, looked at it, had a punch list of things he wanted added. It's taken a few weeks. We're getting the stuff done, and then it's going to transport to him. There was another one mixed in there, Christian. What was that? Where the customer came in and then transported. We had the Model T leave, but he did not view it, but he did view the video, and that was about an hour and a half worth of video between my video and the video of the nice fella coming and going over that car. And I think he's a pretty faithful watcher, the man that came and did the video with us. So thanks for the informative information. The customer already kind of knew a lot about the Model Ts and A's, but he did enjoy the video. He did comment. He said, man, that guy was great, and you were amazing. So still feel free to stop by, even though we're not going to get that car running as we thought we were. We'd still like you to come visit, and let's do that tour up and down Jeff Davis we talked about. Hellcat. Beautiful Hellcat with the flat black hood. Is this one online? All right, this is one that is not online yet. We'll try to photograph that one while we're here. It's got the splitter supports. I don't know which color red that is, but it is a beautiful color red. And a manual Hellcat. A lot of you guys have asked about what cars are manual and which cars aren't. And it's like playing Tetris in this building, getting these cars out. It's a little mind-boggling. So the next one coming out is our red Demon 170. And this car is not officially sold yet. We have had some inquiries. I do have the title in hand, in our dealership name. There are no delays. There is no funny business. There's no CO. The car's been on a trickle charger. The car has, is this the one with 9 miles? 19 miles? Okay. So it is the only red currently. So that's a super duper nice car. All of them are, because they don't have any miles on them. So one of them might get a few extra miles today because we might end up driving it back versus transporting it, but Raymond's going to move the rest. And these will be the second time these cars have ever been moved. They left the factory, came here, now they'll be moved again. Some people will go drive them anyway, but we are trying to keep the miles as delivery miles only. And Don has not taken them to the drag strip or anything weird. So he's barely gotten them out of this building. So they're under good lock and key here for sure. And security with these cars is obviously a big freaking deal. So again, clear title, everything's good, documents are good. Woo! Oh yeah. Gotta love that cold startup. And if you guys have a collection and don't have a collection of trickle chargers like this, you're doing something wrong. Because without that, we'd be putting batteries in these cars. And as you know, we come and buy them in batches. Been very fortunate to be able to do that, 4 or 5 at a time. This time it just happened to be all Demons. Before that it was Vipers. Before that it was Prowlers. It comes in spurts, super stocks, 13, 20 cars. There was an amazing put together collection here. And Dawn has kind of been our caretaker for keeping these things in here, still on charge, and out of sight. A lot of people do want to come by. I've had a few people get offended, and I apologize. When you come by, I just want to see one. We do not keep them at the lot. And we do not keep them at the lot because, one, I don't want them banged up. I don't want them damaged. I don't want my temptation to go out and rip on them, because that's a real temptation, guys, period. For me not to get in these cars and actually go use them for what they're worth is tough. And whatever year it was, 15, I think it was, when the Hellcat came out, I was one of the very first people to have a Hellcat. And I wanted to see what it did, like everybody. I did not abuse the car, but I did push it pretty good. I've driven one of these cars down 288 back to the office. I was on the phone. I never got out of probably 3,000 RPMs. I'm a little bit more grown up over the last 10 years. But that temptation's real. The temptation's real for us to have a customer say, could I please go for a ride? And we have to say no. And people get upset. So we keep them under lock and key, off-site, so that the temptation is not there for that, so that we don't have to have customers come in. You might just be coming in with your son because you want to see one. We would love to fulfill that. But if you open the door and ding it, we're screwed. Like, absolutely screwed. And you're not going to want to pay for what that costs, even if you say, I'll take care of it. It's not take careable. You know, then the car has paint work. Then the car's been damaged. It might as well have been in a car accident. And that's very unfortunate. So even though we are very open book with these vehicles and our square bodies and our showrooms, we love people to come. With these cars, we've had to be a little extra over the top. And it has offended a few people. But people that it offended were not buyers. They just were viewers of the cars. They wanted to look at the cars. As far as a buyer goes, nobody's had any problem buying them yet. We represent them as they're supposed to be. They're basically brand spanking new still. Paperwork is right. You know, there is no delay on the paperwork. We get everything in hand. We get the titles cleared right. Then we put them up for sale. So there's 3 of the 4 that we're taking home today. And again, 2 of them are going to transport straight out to their new owners. Let's see what else we can find. Hang tight. All right, told you guys we would try to sneak something else out of here, and we did so. If the Prowler was not enough, or the Viper was not enough, or the Demon 170s and the Hellcat were not enough, a Mopar 19. Now this car does have some miles, 70,000 miles. It's about the only car out of this collection that we've gotten that had any miles to speak of. But the only reason for that is you cannot find these cars. Nobody bought and tucked these away. But a Mopar 19 is basically a 19, comes up as a 19 year. Okay, 19 Dodge, Mopar, whatever you like. Custom stripes, shaker hood, and some interior accents. They only came in black, they only came in white. And they had the custom graphics. This car is a sunroof car, it's an automatic car. It's got the graphite colored wheels, slight amount of curb rash on the wheels, which can be touched up. Flat black spoiler, a little bit of paint fade right here. Some of that might clear up. That's just a piece of plastic trim around the taillights. Other than that, this car is very clean for 70,000 miles. And again, nothing in here is usually anything to sneeze at. But a very, very, I mean, it's sitting around cars that have 9 miles, 10 miles, 30 miles. We didn't know if it was another brand new one or not until I saw a little wear and tear on the edge of the wheels. So I said, okay, what can we do on this one? So a Mopar 19. Didn't even know there was such a thing. Learn something new every day, even when you're in the business. So Christian will get that one photographed too and on the website today with all the details. And I think you've already got a little bit of the information on your sheet. So that's good. Now let's go over here. The last 170 is coming out currently. we'll film that, but I want to show you guys how these cars are documented. I hear it. I thought we had a bonus. I thought it was $100 in there, but that's just some paperwork showing which car it was from the collection. But the cars have the keys. We all know, obviously, these are the ones that you want. And for you that don't know, which key you use determines how much horsepower these cars have. So that's the way to regulate it when your son, like Christian there, wants to go for a ride. Sure, son, here's the key of the car. Most people never even let people know that there was a different key. And all the power that the black key makes is more than you need. These are the ones that make the real power. So the keys, the paperwork, even the piece from the dealer. Window stickers have been removed, which I know is kind of a no-no to some people. They like it being on there, but they've been laminated. So you can see all the specs of the car. You can see all the additions of what stuff cost. You can see the window sticker cost of this car was $125. I don't know what all this nonsense. I've never read one of these, to be honest. Never even looked at it. But a whole bunch of stuff about miles per gallon and blah, blah, blah. I'm sure that's government stuff. So, like, this is the important stuff. This is the government crap. But all the details, Dodge Challenger SRT Demon 170. And I think 1,025 horsepower on these cars. And if you've watched this far and haven't noticed yet, if you wonder why, that's not a bruise. That's pink paint and purple paint. So I'm working on a project for my youngest daughter and getting ready to start a project for Trista that she doesn't even know about yet. So this will also tell us how much of these videos she watches all the way through. She's supposed to be watching them all and going over them, and she will be doing some of the future editing and filming. And there is the last of the Limelight Green 170s. Period. There are no more. That is it. There are a few Demons left, but no more Limelights, no more red. We bought all of them. So that one there, they all look the same, but they're all different. That has no black except for the spoiler. This one has all black, which that was an option. That one has just black hood. One of them has a rear seat. The rest don't even have a rear seat. Oh, this one's the red interior. With the rear seat delete. Also with the keys, also with everything else. Rear seat delete, if you're watching and you don't know, for power, less weight. You can't carry any extra people. One of them in there only has one seat. From the factory, one seat only, called a 1320 car. What's 1320? Length of a drag strip. That car was built from the factory to go drag racing. Look at the back of these things. Yeah. Straight up Mickey Thompson. Speaking of Mickey Thompson, good stuff there. But on the other side of Mickey Thompson business, the truck side of it, lots of cool news for you guys to come very, very, very soon. But I guess we have no limits on what we can talk about on the race car side of things. Our hands are not tied on that like they are on the truck. We didn't sign anything on that. But the Mickey Thompson tire stuff is going to get you guys really excited. So we're going to help get a few of these other things moved in. We'll get a few of these checked in. And we're going to get back to the office because I have been gone way too long for all this. But we did end up with some cool stuff, so I'm glad we made the time to come over and clear out a few more spots in here. Got to leave the man a big fat check, unfortunately, with a whole lot more zeros and numbers in the front that are bigger than I like to see, but that's part of it. You're in the business. You roll the dice. People ask, do you ever go to Vegas? I'm like, I gamble every day. Like, I don't need to go to Vegas. Everything we do is a gamble. Me driving one of these cars back's gonna be a gamble. If some retard doesn't hit me in the side and cave in my door or something just because they're looking and trying to film. The stuff when people see this stuff going down the road that know what it is it's just, it's unfathomable. So thanks guys, appreciate you following along. I know this video got a little longer than normal, but couldn't help it. Good stuff, thanks. All right, in the midst of this video, I've had two customers text that saw a little short we put up asking about particular cars. One about 1320. So this is the 1320 car in violet, purple, whatever the color is they call it. And there is one in Limelight Green, not in this building. Not in that building or that building, but it is in Limelight Green. one-seat car. We showed you guys this before. The lighting in here is absolutely horrendous, but one seat only. No back seat, no side seat, all the documents, all the paperwork, everything laid out. So one in limelight, this one in purple for you 1320 guys. Also had a customer ask about red. He really wants a red car for his wife, and I really want to find him a red car for his wife. The only red automatic that matches the description, that's not the, and while we're in here, you can see the orange is very orange compared to the red. This is the red color that he likes because he's got red tractors and red trucks. This is the only one, and this is a jailbreak, 800 horsepower, Mopar Hellcat with the wide body, red interior, stripe package, hood pins, black spoiler. So basically a very rarely optioned car with 14 miles. That is 1.4, not 1,400, not 14,000, 14 miles. But unfortunately this one is basically the same price as a super stock because of the ordered options and everything. So it is not a, it's not a very affordable, none of these are affordable, but it's up there. So Christian, we'll get that one online. I have not negotiated a deal on a purchase of that one. So that one is not technically ours, can be ours, but it is pretty far north of 100. And then people ask about the blue one in the background. That is also one that we probably will never end up with. That is the personal car of this collection that he has decided to keep. It is also very rarely optioned because it's a carbon car, no rear seat, no sunroof, but with all the black, all triple black options on the hood, roof, and back deck lid. So, so those that ask, don't think we'll ever get that one. But unfortunately, that's okay. Out of the dozens and dozens of other ones, we can let a few simmer. So thanks, guys. We got to get back to the office. Been away for enough time now. Got to get some of this stuff done. And some of these beautiful cars are getting on their way back to the office for the showroom, on the way back to the office for transport. Thanks, guys.